What up, everyone? It's your man X-Men 87 here, bringing you a collection progress video. And I told you guys I would be working on a new collection video. So I've been working on my collection starting this weekend. So I plan on uploading it sometime between, I don't know, I'm thinking sometime this month in December, if not January. But those are my two target months. Is either December or January. It all depends on the scheduling. But I definitely wanted to record this so we can take a good look at the before and after, seeing how my collection looks now to what it's going to look once I finish it. And it is going to look completely different. Right now, it is a disaster, as you can see. It is an absolute disaster. Everyone is just falling down, and it's just so chaotic. And this happens a lot when I'm doing comparisons in my videos. That's one thing I hate about doing comparisons, is because once I'm grabbing a few figures off the shelves, and either a figure can fall, or when I place that figure back into place on the shelf, it could just cause an avalanche effect. And yeah, that's what happens a lot. So I am not a fan of doing comparisons, because this is what happens. And yeah, as you can see, you're going to notice some things, like a few things you might notice. So at the bottom, no MCU. I used to have a whole MCU collection. I got rid of my MCU collection. I sold that off. I'm going to have a smaller MCU collection right there. So I kind of did a soft reboot. Just want to stick to, the X-Men stuff when they do the MCU, X-Men, the Spider-Man stuff, So I did get, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, obviously. But, yeah. I got rid of the MCU because, I don't know. I'm not into the MCU anymore. But once they do Fantastic Four, X-Men and stuff, I'll get those. But yeah, as you can see, I have scaled back a lot of doubles that I had before. Like, for instance, Absorbing Man. I had two Absorbing Mans. One in my Masters of Evil and one on my Spider-Man side villain shelf. I sold that one off. I sold off a lot of Marvel Legends. So I still have a good amount. But not just Marvel Legends, but I pretty much sold off my entire collection. And I'm just sticking with Marvel Legends. So I sold my G.I. Joe. Yes, I know G.I. Joe was beloved. It was always one of my dream lines. But man, Hasbro has priced me out. I sold off my Transformers, just everything I have. It's basically just Marvel Legends, and I got a few WWE there. Some of my video game figures like Street Fighter and stuff. But yeah, it's been rough, especially since I got laid off from my job. It has been rough, so I needed to do what I had to do, and get the money and pretty much liquidate my collection. I worked for Microsoft, so Microsoft went on a huge layoff spree during COVID. So yeah, it sucks because I love that job, and I missed that job. Hopefully I could get back into it someday, or whenever. But yeah, that's just one of the things that led to it. But also, I just knew I needed to scale back. It was just getting too crazy. It was getting too freaking crazy. But thankfully, I had a good severance package. I worked there for a long time. I had a good severance package, to hold me down. So on top of that, I was just selling off my collection left and right. So Marvel Legends is my tried and true, and I'm always gonna stick with that no matter what. I've been collecting that since the very beginning. But as you can see, I work on this side first, because it's the easiest. It's 2 shelves. And then I'll save this one for last because this is my main wall of Marvel Legends that takes forever. It just takes forever. Also part of scaling back, I disbanded some shelves. So, because I disbanded like MCU and stuff, I'm able to do things that I wanted to do before that I couldn't. So, I'm going to have 2 freaking X-Men shows. Look at that. So, this is X-Men shelf part 1. And then X-Men on the bottom. Because I have so much X-Men, as you know. X-Men is my shit when it comes to Marvel. And that allowed me to do some shelves that I've been wanting to do, like a dedicated Iron Man shelf and a Wolverine shelf. As you can see, this is just the layout. I haven't finished, but I love working on Fantastic Four first. So, the Cosmic shelf, I broke up. I had all my Cosmic stuff on the top, but I had to break it up because it was just getting too much. It was just way too much. So as you can see, I have 2 Cosmic shelves. Technically, 4 if you want to count it. But it's going to take up the first top 2 rows right here on this shelf. So I had Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, all of that on this top shelf. The problem is there were so many big figures, a lot of weight, and it put stress on the shelves. And as you can see, some of the shelf it's warping, it's bowing. And I know some people gave me shit before, like, oh, your shelves are bowing. Dude, I know, relax, man. Like, I'm very picky with my shelves. This is a 4-foot shelves. A lot of the shelves that I like, that I've seen, are in black, and I want it white because white will make the figure stand out more. But the ones that I like, man, they're too tall. Like, this is a 4-foot shelf, and the ones I like are past 5 feet. And the problem with that, if I get a shelf that's past 5 feet, I won't be able to display Galactus. And as you can see, I need a 4-foot shelf because he's just tall as hell. And my ceiling is right there, So he's like, maybe 10 inches away from that ceiling. It's going to take me a while before I rearrange the shelves. Just bear with me for now. Just stick with this for now until I find the right shelves. And then, yes, I do plan on replacing these shelves once I find the right shelves. You know what I mean? As you can tell, that one's bowing too, because it's X-Men. But, again, time and money that I don't have right now to invest in. But I just want to give you the lay of the land here, that it's Fantastic Four on the top shelf. Thor, my Asgard shelf, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Asgardians of the Galaxy. So, I'm just looking at what characters to add. Obviously, not everything is set up here. I'm thinking I got rid of some, figures that I just don't need. Like, for instance, Adam Warlock. I sold him off. I don't want the modern one. I'm just sticking to classic one. I got the classic ones. I got, for instance, that modern Better Ray Bill that they did. It's cool, but I want the classic. I prefer the classic. So I want to stick to more classic than modern. If it's like a modern team, like the Annihilators, I'll go back and get that Better Ray Bill. But they got to complete it first, because that's the one thing. Hasbro is not good at completing teams. Hopefully the camera's not shaky. I'm trying to keep it still, and I'm sorry if I'm moving a lot. There's just a lot going on. I don't know who else to add to this Guardians of the Galaxy shelf. Maybe... I don't know. Crystar, where is he? Crystar, I don't know where. There's some characters I don't know where to put, like Crystar. I really don't know where to put him. I'm thinking about putting him in my Cosmic shelf. Maybe as Guardians. I was going to say as Guardians of the Galaxy, but maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, since, it's Cosmic. Although I could put him with some Mystic stuff too. Like, he's cross paths with Doctor Strange. So, I'm just looking right now what to do. I do love that Doctor Doom with the Doom bots right there. Damn. I was working on some of that yesterday, so I still got a lot more work to do. Iron Man, I'm getting the Marvel Selects Crimson Dynamo, because I was going to put the Marvel Legends one here, but I prefer him with the villains over there with the Winter Guard. So, I'll get more Iron Man villains. I want to see if there's a way I can sneak in Fing Fang Foom in that Iron Man shelf. Because my shelf can only fit a 13-inch tall figure. He's 16-inch, so that's not going to work. I might have to do something where he's like crawling like on all fours and make him look cool. If it looks goofy, I'm not going to do it. And I'll just keep Fing Fang Foom with the Fantastic Four. It's got to look right to me, and it's got to work for me. But yeah, that's MCU and Gamerverse right here. They're all going to be together. Again, I'm going to keep it small, but, as long as I'm happy, I don't care. I always said, if your collection, doesn't matter if it's big or small, as long as you're happy with it, that's all that matters. My Iron Man, I got rid of the SH figure art, so I was just comic and video game Iron Man figures for the most part. Some MCU, if they're colorful, like that disco one right there, that works. So, I'm just working on a few stuff. You know what I was thinking about? And maybe you guys have a few suggestions to help me out. But I am thinking about, well, one, my classic Avengers were here. And so I'm going to move them right over here where my Giant Man is. And I'm finally going to do my classic Avengers and modern Avengers separate. I believe I said that before in a video. So I'm excited for that. So modern Avengers will go there. Kind of like, the Mouse team with Vision, Kate Bishop, the other Iron Man, Stinger, anyone that's modern. So it's going to be like S.H.I.E.L.D., Modern Avengers, Marvel Knights. I might extend Marvel Knights. So this is where the suggestion comes into play. Should I separate my Marvel Knights heroes and villains? The reason why is because if it's street level heroes here, my Marvel Knights is going to be extended from these two shelves. Because Thunderbolts is right there. And anyone that's like teams like Thunderbolts and Serpent Society, they're going to go in that shelf right there. So I might have teams like Squadron Supreme, Thunderbolts, Serpent Society. They'll go there, which will pretty much be like villain teams, right? And the reason why I'm asking you guys is because then if I do street level heroes here, this whole shelf right there, this middle shelf will be all Marvel heroes, no matter what. All Marvel heroes, and then underneath that is going to be all Marvel villains. So you can see I got, Hydra right there, Masters of Evil, or just super villains, and then AIM. And then my X-Men teams will be all at the bottom, because I'm going to have two X-Men shows. You can see I got this little Savage Land thing going on. I got, some X-Men teams, like the classic 70s right there, AOA, House of X. I got rid of all my HasLab Sentinels too. I only kept one, and that's going to be Master Mold. Because once those X-Men 97 Sentinels were revealed, I'm like, you know what? I can get the money, and the money I get out of those HasLab Sentinels would just be put towards those X-Men 97 Sentinels, so they could be my classic one, and Master Mold like this, he could just stand on his own, But for now, I have those Arcade Sentinels right there, and the other Sentinel from Days of Futures Past. I know he's 16-inch, so the new one is going to be 22 inches, so I'm going to have to take one of those toy box, the Disney Toy Box Hall of Armor, and I do have another one in the box, so I'll open that one up and do another stack on top of that, so that way, I already did the measurements, it'll fit, and that Sentinel will be encased, and maybe a few other Sentinels could be on display with the other X-Men's like laid out, and battle damage. That's what I did last time in my last collection video, where I had the AOA. I had the HasLab Sentinel laid out between AOA and House of X. So, yeah, you know, that's where I'm at. I just wanted to show you so you guys could see what the before and after will look like. There's still some, like, for instance, Iron Man, there's still some figures I haven't opened. Like, I haven't opened Count of Area and Whiplash. Yeah, I got rid of my retro wall too, you know, again. You know, I need the money, so, because, you know, I got laid off, and, yeah, for those that think YouTube was my career, no, it is not. It never was. That was not my main job. Had a great career at Microsoft, so, we'll see, though, you know. I've been busy job hunting and all that stuff. So, just want you guys to see where I'm at with the collection. It's going to be different. It definitely will be different, and I'm keeping Alpha Flight with Deadpool on the Deadpool shelf. I considered it to move them to the Wolverine shelf, but I really like him. I really like them right there because I can have them in flight, you know, because I have more space to hang them on the walls. Here, not so much, you know. I tried that with my Guardians of the Galaxy shelf, putting Quasar, Captain Marvel, Darkhawk, and yeah, it's tight. I mean, it's doable. I don't know, man. I like them over there because I'm gonna have some other characters in flight. Where my X-Men shelves are. So I'm gonna have like my X-Men villains there. Who else? Anyone else I'm missing? Spider-Verse is gonna stay there. You know, my side villains, main Spider-Man shelf. You know, my Spider-Verse or just spider suits. Any spider characters go in there. My Venomverse shelf, my Symbiote shelf. So yeah, I got a lot of work to do. This is gonna be a lot of work, but yeah. I also did get the Marvel Legends Man-Thing, Scar. Oh, where is he? Spawn is right here. So I could put him with the Savage Land because, you know, Man-Thing does have connections to the Savage Land. Scar will go in my Savage Land display. I'll keep Man-Thing in Marvel Knights. You know, this cap is going in my modern Avengers shelf. And, the Fantastic Four, Wolverine, and Spider-Man, they'll be going with my other Fantastic Four team right there. So, yeah, it is going to be interesting once this is all set up. But I hope you like what you see so far. It's crazy to see how much I scaled back collecting Marvel Legends because now that I'm looking at my shelves, it's not cluttered like it used to be. It's not going to be nowhere near as filled up like before, and that's okay with me. I like some space in between to figure out my next move or investment. Got rid of the ones I no longer have need for in my collection. Best thing I did for myself was to stop being a completist. It just wasn't worth it to me. Just getting what I genuinely want and what's in my best interest for the collection. So my next collection video might not be impressive as it was to you before, but I'm actually happy with the way it is for me now and what it's going to be. So for instance, like I said, I disbanded some shelves like A-Force, MCU, etc. so that I can finally get to do some display themes that I couldn't do before. And now I'll get to display that dedicated Wolverine shelf. I've been talking about it all year in case you didn't know. My Iron Man shelf besides the Hall of Armor. I like that my Iron Man shelf will be next to the Hall of Armor. So I get to get his dedicated shelf, one that showcases his allies and Rogues Gallery. And like I said, running out of space in my Cosmic shelf, I had to break that up. It was just getting too cluttered, and I like the fact that I get to have different displays like Fantastic Four, Thor, and Guardians of the Galaxy, respectively on their own shelves. So ultimately, I'm happy with how it's turning out so far. So my collection is a lot smaller, but again, I'm happy, man. And I'm also exploring other, interests and hobbies and stuff. So, you know, I'm just having fun with this hobby, man. That's all I care about is just to have fun with it. All right, guys. So I know I said this is a small collection, but I know to many of you it's still quite large, and yeah, it is. So it's still gonna take me a while to finish all this. It might take me a month because again, it's a lot of figures. It just takes time measuring out the way I want, how I want them to look specifically. I can be very meticulous with this stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get ready to watch WWE Survivor Series War Games. Should be a very fun show. And as always, leave a like, shows your support for my channel. Thanks for watching today's video. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace.